PSU Sports, sitting down once again with head coach Mark Pavlik of the Penn State men's volleyball team. And Pav, a couple of tough losses on the road this past weekend to Loyola Chicago and Lewis, but they're tough out-of-conference opponents, so what positives can you take away from the weekend series?
The 5-game match at Lewis was just a great volleyball match. It was physical, great serving by both teams, great stretches of play by us and by Lewis, and typically you have times where a team will raise its level while the other team's down. You had some of that with Lewis's match, but for the most part, I thought both teams were playing pretty well together. And I thought as the match wore on, Lewis's bench were able to give them a spark, and I think that was the difference. Our bench is a little depleted right now, but Lewis came out and their guys stepped on the court and righted the ship more or less and got things going in the right direction for them. And that's not the way I said it makes it sound pretty easy, but we didn't give it up. We competed very hard. I really liked the way we played against Lewis, and then against Loyola, good team. You lose your starting setter, it changes the whole dynamics of your offense, and it took us probably into the third game before we started to look like we were comfortable with, okay, Nathan's on the court, here's his delivery, here's what we've got to do. That was the disappointing thing, that we didn't really adjust to ourselves as much as I would have liked us to. Through the weekend, Kevin Gear, Matt Calloway continue to do some really good stuff in the middle. Nuge is working his way back from injury, and I think he's pretty close to 100%. So I kind of like where we're at right now.
And then you move ahead, a quick turnaround on Tuesday, Ohio State here. You guys have played them once before at their place, and they're a pretty physical team. How do you go out and try to deal with that physicality?
Yeah, first of all, you got to deal with their serving. Shershin and Johnson behind the line are two of the best servers in the country. So we're going to have to battle them, and we've just got to make sure that we enable ourselves to have the opportunity to hit out of trouble. So much with Ohio State is their serving at some point wears down passers. So there are times where they get some easy points, either a non-attack coming back where they can just run their full offense at you, or the ball is passed to a certain area of the court where everybody in the gym knows where you have to go with it, and it makes it so much easier for a defense and a block to set up against it, especially when you got big boys and the strength that Ohio State has. Plus, one of the more underrated players in the country is their setter, Christy Blau. I just think he does such a great job with that group. He gets his hitters great swings no matter where the pass is. You give him those easy balls that put him right where he needs to be in the middle of the net, and he's going to make his hitters even that much more effective.
And then obviously you don't want to overlook Ohio State, but flash forward to the weekend, and it's Princeton and NJIT, two very close matches the first time around at their places. Just how important is it for you guys to get off on the right foot in EIVA play? Yeah,
we're back into the last 3 weekends of EIVA play. We're up by a game over Princeton and New Jersey Tech. I believe both of them have 3 losses. We have 2. So a successful weekend on both Friday and Saturday for us could give us some breathing room. 2-game lead on everybody with 4 games left. 2 of those are at home. So I think this could be one of the more important EIVA weekends in our history, and kind of interesting and fun to say that for those of us that have been around the growth of the EIVA in the past 8 to 10 years. It's nice to be in a conference that there's some meaningful matches being played in April.
And then the last question for you before we let you go. After Tuesday, you have just a couple days before you get ready for those matches, so how important is it for the team to kind of get their rest, do well in practice, hydrate, etc., whatever you want?
Exactly. Everything that we ask of our student athletes to control, they've got to control to the nth degree. We want them to get sleep. We want them to pay attention to their nutrition and rehab to make sure that they are rested and ready to go. But the other factor on top of that is, let's not forget about what you're here for either. You don't want the classroom things to get put on a back burner, because eventually that comes back to bite you in the butt anyway. Whether it's through your grades or whether it's through you saying, now I've got to catch up. When you start to catch up, every student, I don't care how far out of school you've been, knows that when you start to catch up, you're starting to play with late night hours, and your sleep starts to decrease, and all of a sudden you're saying, oh, do I have time to eat now? So this is a crucial time, and I think this is where we count on our leadership to make sure the message gets across. Look, take care of what you need to take care of. Budget your time wisely, prioritize what you need to prioritize, get the work done. This is when being a student athlete is of utmost importance.
Bath, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Tuesday and then in your return to EIVA play.
And then the next thing you know, it'll be May. Unbelievable how fast this season has gone.
Thanks, Bath.